A backlog is nothing but a list of items which are present for the team in order to implement it as a part of their say sprint or whatever agile practices they are using. Yeah, so a backlog is nothing but list of features which is being written by product owner and business analyst. And they are the broad text available to them. So if you see here, it essentially says that they ensure the details and clarity for items so that the delivery team can complete an iteration. Iteration is nothing but a sprint. Yeah. Now, we also talked about it need to be looked at a frequent interval. So it should not happen that a backlog item is not looked at or it's looked once a quarter. It is a frequent term that need to be looked at. And this backlog refinement includes activities like story elaboration. So it can happen that you just write one line story at the beginning, but during the backlog refinement session, you elaborate this story. So you put acceptance criteria, you put what are the various constraints in the system, you put what are the various dependencies, what are the various collaboration I need. So if I need to go to team A and B, or what are the various dependencies, so that the team, when they are doing their planning sessions, it is much more clear. Yeah, it also might require story decomposition, which means if you have a really complex stuff to do, you break it into multiple stories. And then of course a backlog refinement requires prioritization and sequencing. Backlog refinement, as I mentioned, can also include acceptance criteria, which means when uh, a user story is said to be completed. Yeah, that's the acceptance criteria. When as a team I should say that I accept, or when as a product owner can say I accept this user story meet all the user features, or it met all what I have asked for. And that's what acceptance criteria refers to. And backlog refinement, sometime additional documentation can also be added. For example, if there is supporting white paper, if there is supporting requirement document, if there is supporting discussion points, if there is supporting approvals emails that need to be added, that can also be added to a user story during the refinement session. Right now, if you look at the visual image of a refinement session or backlog refinement, how it should look like. So you have, say, for example, on the left hand side, a product backlog, which say feature 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 8. During the refinement session, the product owner, the business analyst, and the team discuss based on the input say product owner and business analyst received from various stakeholders, what are the various features that need to be at higher priority, the middle priority, and lower priority. So you can see that get reorganized. And then once they are able to prioritize, then they will try to elaborate these specific features which are at higher priority, so that when the team is implementing it or taking it in their sprint, it become much more easier for them. Right, so that's how the entire process of backlog refinement goes in. Now if you can think of the previous image, what we are saying is the items that are at the top of the backlog are the one that are of higher priority. These are the ones which we know that they are properly shaped, they are properly defined, they are also something that we understand more. Yeah. Then the purpose of refinement meeting for the team is to review the item that is at the top of the backlog, because it is of course prioritized and sequenced. So suppose if the team identify or the product owner identify 4, 5, 8, 1, all are of equal priority. Still, if you look at the stack, it is not the case that 4 and 8 and 1 lie in the same horizontal line. You still need to sequence it, saying that if you want to pick up, first pick 4, then pick 8, and then pick 1, right? And then there is no structure of, or there is no specific format that is defined, that in which format this entire session need to be held. It's just that it should happen regularly, and there should be a representation of customer. It can be a product owner or it can be a stakeholder. So this specific technique will help in communicating and propagating the idea and also refining the requirement. The strength are, of course, when there is more clarity, the team is able to perform better. Yeah, so this backlog refinement helps in clarity and understanding of backlog refinement or product backlog item. And then it facilitate more effective iteration planning by raising the queries early. So when you have these session early enough, then during your planning session, you will have less and less queries from the team, because more or less things are already clarified. The process is not aligned, it sometimes become inefficient. It can also happen that it is not happening regularly, then also it become inefficient. If the broader vision and the roadmap is not aligned, or if it is keep on changing regularly, then your backlog refinement also need to happen regularly, and then this process also become inefficient.